Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Good, good morning. Going to be a busy chat this morning. Absolutely. Let's see. Let's see. It would have been that candle. So, oh gosh. Damn it, that should all be caps. I keep doing that. Oh, it's gonna be stupid. GELS at 8:36 a.m. Oh, dang, brownies. Good enough. Sure. Two. Oh my gosh, would this notepad thing work, Pete? Good morning, Upside Investing 313. Good morning, Timothy. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I longed the stock GELS this morning. That's pretty much the only thing I've done, other than adding a couple shares to UPRO. So I'm a little bit long biased the market, not heavy, kind of late as far as or wait, hold up. Am I late? Hold on, let me just double check something. I mean, I guess I can't say I'm like late. Obviously, I didn't get the exact moment the market flipped positive, but I do have some on long the market, so I will add that there as well too. And I bought that at I don't know when to buy. Oh shit. Oh, dumb. Bought UP. I keep hitting shift, but it's already capitalized. About UPRO 3x leverage ETF today slash this morning because market flipped back positive. Don't know if it will hold. We have. Um, I basically said the same thing down there, so I guess that doesn't really need to be there. All right. There's really not a whole lot to mention. I mean, that's pretty much the only thing I've done so far this morning, so we'll kind of leave it at that, I guess. Hmm. Good morning to you, beautiful nine souls this morning. Bless your hearts. Hopefully everything goes well for you today and in the future, and hopefully your family's healthy, your kids are doing well, and hopefully you have a great Thanksgiving and eat some good food. So we will get into it here in a little bit. But before we do that, what I'm first going to do is pretty much run through every single penny stock so that that way, if there is something moving, we don't miss it, hopefully. And then I'll go into my whole spiel thing. But let's just, excuse me, take a second to see if there's anything moving in the immediate that might be worth involving ourselves on ENLV. Um, we're late, but maybe it shapes up today. So if you're looking at ENLV is going to be something that I won't play right now, but arguably I'll watch throughout the day. But if that sets up, it sets up. But right now, I don't think it's, I mean, pretty much put it this way. If something isn't breaking out or isn't backtesting support, I don't like to involve myself with it because at that point, it just has to keep going, right? Well, I guess that's the case for everything, but that's just how I view it, right? If it's not at a breakout and it's not backtesting support, I usually don't touch it because then you have to run the hope game, which is I just hope it keeps going up and it doesn't go for a backtest. Because if it goes for a backtest, then support's really far away. And if it wants to sell off completely down to support, the loss would be huge, right? So ENLV is the one where we just watch, right? And the reasons that we just watch something is because if you look at ENLV, it's got some decent momentum today. All right, it's got that characteristic of like at least it's traded halfway decent, but it's extended away from support. So we'll let everybody else do whatever they want to do with that stock, and if in the event it meets our requirement for a trade, then we'll dabble with it. But other than that, we won't do anything. We'll just let everyone blow it up, or everyone get smoked from here. Either one we're fine with. Doesn't really matter. But I just don't try to do the whole hopeful buy a penny stock and to go up. So ENLV, that's a no-go right now. BFLY, no. Not that it can't. Again, even when I say no, it's not that the stock won't have a good day. It's just it's not meeting the requirements for an entry on my what I look at. So IVP is a no. GELS, I think, like I said, we're already long that. GELS, it's kind of rolling over. That's fine. Again, it still hasn't even back tested support. It got close. I started buying that. I mean, it pretty much back tested support. It got close, but not quite. But anyways, all right, let's continue. CJET. CJET. Actually, I should see. I was thinking about this one earlier, but you know what? What to do? It is on support. It's close. I don't know. I'll take a small bit just because whatever. It's kind of moving. If it fails, again, I don't really. Oh, never mind. I can't buy that stock. They said it's not. You can't electronically trade that, so they're just protecting me from who knows what. So I can't actually play with that one today. OSCR is the next one. OSCR. Um, I mean, it's moving good and it's broken up and it's out, but not near support. So that thing's going to have to pull back or to keep going. MFI. MFI is it's actually a bearish trend, so it'd be a counter long bounce in a bear market. Not really interested in that. Wait, INSP. What's this guy? No. MIGI. No. SCNI. No. EPSM. Maybe. Not really. All right, what else we got? PODC. No. PHG. Nope. TCRT. Nope. FATN. Nope. FF. Nope. GL. Was it GLIBA? The hell is that? Nope. That's what that is. It's a nope. AMZE. Let's see. Nope. That's still bearish. Okay. And see, like right there, that AMZE stock, they're popping it up today, but it's still like it's in a bearish trend. AMBO. I mean no volume, but I don't know, maybe. Tusk, not really. BOTJ, what are all these piece of shit stocks that are popping up on this bottom here? It's exactly that. Pieces of poop. IVP, I mean, no, not really. ENLV, just double check. ENLV, ENLV. No, all right, cool. We've ran through every single stock in the biggest gainers list, and there was nothing that seemed good. Again, the only thing I involved myself this morning was GELS, or well, and the market, but yeah, really just GELS because that was um, coming off support at one point. So yeah, I guess that's that. So we've effectively gone through every penny stock this morning, and nothing is triggering what I would deem as a low risk entry. So the only thing I was able to do this morning was GELS. I mean, we can recover it. We can cover it just briefly here. All right. So, oh man, I hate when it does that. It's so lame. I don't know why it does that. But again, it's the same story as always. All right, never really changes. So like, why did we watch the stock long day? Because it was in an uptrend. So if you look at where it started its uptrend this morning, the uptrend on GELS started at 91 cents and at a dollar. So essentially, when or not. Okay, I'll just go into this one. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So when GELS broke up and over, essentially 90 cents, it started a 30-minute uptrend. Then it went to the 4 hour. It broke out the 4 hour, starts a 4 hour uptrend. And I started buying into this dip right there. Okay with it going all the way down, back to support. So I started buying into the dip as it was selling down towards support, and then obviously as it's going up, taking some money. So basically from the absolute low of that back test to the highs, a 29% return. But I didn't get the absolute low, but just in general, right? If you were the best player on that dip today, you had the potential for a 29% return off the uptrend start on that penny stock this morning. Right. So if you think about it in terms of uptrend, pull back, and go, there was a 29% return today on this equity, right? Now, if someone looked at the market and looked at pattern specifically, they might go, oh, well, it kind of went up and then, it had a decent move, but now it's kind of flopped over like, it's not that good. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look great, but it had really good performance on its uptrend today, 29% from low to high on the back test to upside. So, I mean, anyone would be happy with a 29% return, especially in a day if they got it, right? So it's not that you're going to get it, it's just that it had a decent enough opportunity for you to make some money if you went for the uptrend back test long sort of scenario like I did. So that's pretty much it with GELS. Again, every penny stock is the exact same every single morning in terms of, what we're looking at and what we're looking for. But yeah, there you go. All right, let me bring up some of this stuff. What are we looking for? That's that. This guy, my notepad, and this guy. No, I need the other one too. Oh, good morning to 9 people. I'm almost certain YouTube is just putting this right on the home screen. So really the only thing we have to do this morning is pretty much just hope the stock market goes up and we continue making some money. That's pretty much it. So you can kind of see how it's forming up too. We might even, I don't even know. There like some people might be looking at this and going like, "Oh, look at this. There's like a bull flag, right?" Like you can kind of see it doing like one of those, right? Again, I'm not, well, clearly I'm looking at it, but I'm not really, like thinking about that. But like I said, when when the market is kind of transitioning from bearish to bullish, right? So if this yellow line, that yellow line's the 50 SMA, the market is transitioning above this morning. Does it hold? Does it continue? I don't know. We'll see. Blah, 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 blah. Right. But what you also notice is the market is coming up through the 50 SMA, a level at which the market can flip back to positive. It's kind of ironic, right? Or not really ironic, or maybe it just makes sense that where the market is transitioning above a level that can flip the market positive, you start to see the formation of maybe a bull flag, right? So the only time I really even like consider patterns or like think they're cool is when they actually make sense. And I've come to find that a lot of times you will see like patterns. As markets are transitioning from bullish to bearish or bearish to bullish and whatever, right? Or like if we get a head and shoulders pattern, a head and shoulders pattern will happen with the neckline being the 50 SMA. You know what I mean? So the 50 SMA is always the control point, and the markets can develop and build patterns around and off of that transition point. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So just thought it was fun that you can kind of see what looks like maybe a bull flag there, right? When I look at this, I don't go, oh, market's going to go up. Like that's not what I think. I think if market is over the yellow, it has the potential to go up. If it's below, then it doesn't, right? And if a pattern happens to form, then like so be it, whatever, right? It's just a matter of whether or not the market's going to hold support or not this morning. And if it does, then great. We'll see the market go up and the news will probably flip bullish and say stocks put on gains. So that's really what it's going to be. Basically, if the market finishes over 661.22 today, the likelihood well, just in general, right? If it stays over $661.22 on the SPY, then the likelihood the market goes up is the odds are the market goes up, which then means the odds are that the stock market news articles will be bullish, right? If in the event we are unable to hold 661.22 on the SPY and it's a false move up and then we revert back down, basically you already know then the market's not going to go up, right? Then we will see news go, oh, like stocks maybe started up today and then they lost their gains or whatever it might be. And again, I haven't even read the economic news. I don't keep up to date with half of this stuff. So, I'm kind of not in tune always with what the news is or what the economic data cycle is. Um, Granted, I really should pay a little more attention to that, but again, at the end of the day, once you understand the system, again, you don't really have to look at it for trading purposes all the time. But it still helps. So anyways, again, market slipped back on the long side, arguably. We'll see if that maintains, right? So, we don't have a back test yet, right? The market still may need to back test the 50 SMA today. I really wouldn't be surprised if that's what we do. I'm almost, to be honest, it's a very strong chance that at market open, this is just going to go right down to the 50 SMA, and then we will decide, do we hold or do we go back down, right? I hope it just keeps going up because that'd be great. That's my dog in the background. He goes crazy whenever my wife leaves the house, and he's an interesting little guy. But anyway, so again, we'll see, guys. There's not a lot to say. We'll see if the market holds positive. If so, market goes up. Stock market news is going to flip positive. Probably tell you that AI trade fear is no longer here, and who knows? Lord, my dog is going nuts. So, anyways, cheers to you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, we all either make a little bit of money, which I already have today, so that's good. Not a ton, but enough to be happy. Any day you make $1 is a good day, theoretically. And yeah, we'll just see if the market goes up or not. Again, it doesn't even matter. It really doesn't. You know, market's gonna be here every single day, every single year, and the market is gonna follow this exact same system every single day and every single year. All right, till the end of time. We can touch a little bit on Bitcoin now. So Bitcoin still has not retraced any of our daily volume weighted average prices, which is okay, right? We know that when we see this, it just means, well, in this instance, as things are going down, that there's more sellers or just it's more of a forced selling move, and that's okay, right? Like when there's more momentum in one side than the other, then pullbacks are less aggressive, right? We know that. And it happens from time to time, right? So like if we were to take this VWAP back to this high, right? You'll see like it eventually you can see like eventually the market came back and down, right? If we were to take that volume weighted average price and track it from this high, right about there, like we know that market came back and got that volume weighted average price, etc., right? And so we continue doing pretty much the same. I mean, it depends on exactly how you look at it. This one's still shied here, but pretty much, and again, when I do VWAPs, I always do two. So the more correct way of doing this top would have been like that. So, arguably it shied here, but ultimately came back, got it there, right? So what we know is that since this last lower high on Bitcoin, it's just been going down, right? So that pretty much means obviously the market's been going down, but along the way we've put in a couple of these false little bottoms, if you will, right? We had a little green candle there, and I'm not saying that was supposed to be a bottom, right? And we put in a little green candle here, and I'm not saying that was supposed to not, be a bottom, right? And then we kind of bounced overnight here, and we're putting in a little bit of green, etc., right? But what all of those little mini bounces and whatever have in common is that none of them have retraced their daily volume weighted average price. If I go all the way back to the high and even skip this candle here and just even go to that one, there's no tag. Even this lower high, no tag, no tag, no tag, etc. And then we put in another green candle here and we still haven't tagged. So it just basically means all of this is still open for business, which just means when the market's ready, we're going to go back and retrace every single one of those VWAPs, whether at the same time or at a later date in time, we will hit them. It's going to happen, right? And so as this market on Bitcoin goes down, each one of these false green bottoms becomes a new anchor spot and then becomes your first target back up, right? In the past, when we created this lower high, these VWAPs would be the first counter target when the market bounces. We then put in this false little green day, and then it rolled back over. It creates a new anchor point. Now that VWAP becomes the first target on the way back up. And then we put in another false bottom. So we VWAP here, and that one becomes the next one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we have a lot of untested volume weighted average price levels from all of the selling pressure down, whether that be long biased traders trying to buy a bottom and then stopping out and creating that shelved zone, or whether it be new short sellers coming in and selling the markets down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We just have a big untested area that at some point will all of this is going to be tested. It's not if, it's just when. So yeah, I mean, we're just letting this thing go down. One day we'll get a bounce. One day we'll start retracing some of these things. But you guys already know we're supposed to be in a bear market, at least in my opinion, which I mean, this is probably, I would say, probably one of the most accurate calls ever made on the internet, or maybe even, well, I want to say that, but probably, I mean, honestly, to predict the exact month then, you know, give a date of October 13th. So we gave midway. It wasn't perfect, but to give the exact month that the stock market would go or Bitcoin would go into a bear market years ahead of time, that is not easy to do. And I can't say there's probably too many people in history that have ever predicted a bear market start on any market to the exact month years ahead of time. And if they did, then that's sick and point me in the direction of that person. But then again, at the end of the day, um, yeah, I don't know. So that's sick. So all I'm saying is it's like when I see all of this action, I just kind of giggling inside because it's like obviously, right? So then as I go on the internet and I read like different articles and people are all like scared, so I'm just laughing. Or looking at like Twitter posts and like, oh, we're back to like 170,000 we go. It's just like, dude, you're comical. Stop. You know, you're hurting a lot of souls right now and you don't even know it. But anyways, oh, there's a hair in my coffee. That's nice. Sure, it's my dog's hair. So, yeah, we'll just let Bitcoin go down for a while, and then when I think it's time to buy, I'll just let you guys know. Oh man, we are just booming on the YouTube stream today, just crushing, baby. All right, so we'll see what the market do with. Like I said, actually, you can see in the notes here, I bought some 3x leverage ETF today. Blah blah blah. But the market, oh, I deleted that one. Never mind. But yeah, the market is sketch. When I say the market is sketch, I just mean based off what I'm seeing, it's just I'm not overzealous on, being long. Just because I've seen the past couple long moves be very short-lived. Now, when we see that, and then not to mention when we see that, let me just bring up, oh, 1 second. I need to put, oh, it is on there. I don't know where is it at. Hold up. That's weird. Oh, I don't know what I'm thinking. Um, yeah, I mean, so this is basically what I'm getting at. Back-to-back false crossing. This is something I talk about, right? So look at the market popped up, 10 SMA cross 50 SMA, then the market came down, 10 SMA cross 50 SMA, etc. So what I call that is two back-to-back crosses, and that was shit. That was in the same day. So, basically the rule of thumb is when you get two back-to-back false crosses within a short period of time, you can basically say the market's playing games and it's being sketch. When it's being sketch, we don't overstay our welcome on anything, for that matter. So, anyways, market's open with the gap up. So if SPX goes for its 161 extension off gap, we'll expect the price to go up to here today, whether that be on a pullback or a gap and go. We also have not back tested the 50 SMA. So basically that means if this market is not meant to go up and go long and it's meant to go down, well, then obviously it goes down. And one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to target back to the 50 SMA, which is 6,625 and whatever. So which ways it go? Again, my bias would be up, because we crossed over the SMA, but I'm totally cool with it going down because that's just how the game works, right? Like, all right, so again, like I said, my bias is up because we flipped the SMA up, but like I said, we have two back-to-back false crosses here. When that happens, markets can be sketchy. So I'm not loading the boat long. I'm just, average risk in a sketch market. So we'll be looking up to 1618 for the SPX gap up if it's successful in gapping and going, which so far right now it is because we've seen that it's just opened up and it's pretty much went up, right? So that would be gap up and so far going, right? We're not really pulling back. Now, it doesn't mean it goes for forever. It could, you get the point. It doesn't matter. Two lines, two levels, whatever on the screen, you get the point. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Man, only three people chatting today. Well, I mean, what did you really expect? Did you really expect there was going to be a bunch of bots in your YouTube account blowing up your channel? That's a good one. Holy shit, the stock market's going up. Who would have thought? I mean, honestly, I might as well just start playing Slither.io already. You know what I mean? I'm like, honestly, I'm about to. I don't even care anymore. Like, what else am I gonna do with my life? Sit here and just watch the stock market go up? Yes. So might as well have more fun while I'm doing it. Slither.io, baby. Such a good game. It really is. Well, I'm gonna move my market internal. Well, no, I'm just gonna cut. Well, I mean, I'll move this so I can still watch it on another screen. But I'm gonna throw some Slither.io up here and start going in. Where's? Oh wait, whoa, wow, wow. My snake name is Jerome Powell. About to crush. A stock market's about to hit our first target long on the day. Who would have thought? Crazy, crazy. Yippee, yay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Our long on the stock market is working beautifully. Hopefully, I don't run into anyone. I might. And just like that, come on, get the 1618. Let's go. Oh, wait, why isn't this? Oh, no, there we go. Ah, let's go, baby. All right, we're up to the 1618. Somebody almost slithered me, but he didn't get me. He's still trying to get me. Ah, loser. What an idiot. All right, no, he's not an idiot. He just got out slithered is all. Hey, 161 target on the market hit, and that's it. Yay. Good job, team. You have correctly predicted one of the largest globally traded ETFs in the entire world today, and where it would go before it would go there, and why it would go up when it went up. Congratulations, team. You have done a great job. You have effectively done better than 95% of the entire population when it comes to looking at the stock market. Cheers. Oh, let's go, baby. Oh, let's go. So many orbs, so many orbs. Whoa. Oh, damn it. Got slithered myself. Oh, good morning, people. Oh, what a lovely surprise. Didn't know you guys would be here this morning. So, yeah, stock market's just going up. We just hit our long target. So, if you guys are doing short-term trading, arguably a decent spot to take some profit, if you will, because not that it couldn't go higher, not that it won't go higher. It's just in terms of this is it. We just hit one of our long targets on the day. So if you were looking for short-term momentum up, directional bias to a specific targetable price, I mean, we just got one, right? Now, granted, we did just flip the market long today. So, we basically could be at the starting point of a new swing long. Granted, whenever we have back-to-back false crossing in the market, I don't like to think that, but eventually the market's going to trend out and whatever. But again, it's one of those situations where you gotta, if you're short-term trading, I mean, yeah, you could take profit on a good move up. If you're swing long like I am, then you're just going to keep holding, right? So, I did take a little profit on the trade into the 161, and now what I'm holding is to hopefully see if the market actually turns into a swing long. So we flipped the market positive today. I traded up to the 1618, took a little bit off, and now what I'm holding is for a swing long position and the hopefulness that the market develops into a legitimate long bias trend from today's move. And if it does, then sweet. If it doesn't, then it's like, well, figures, right? Whatever. So let's see how the market is reacting at 161. Oh my gosh, there's a red candle there as we reach our long target. Who would have thought? That's crazy. Okay, back to Slither. I don't see anything else popping up. Wait, maybe. I mean, they're still pumping a lot of like low piece of crap stocks right now. The volatility index is downsided. The VVIX is downsided. So right now, the markets are less fearful, if you will. Granted, the VIX is still in the 20s, which is kind of high. Markets, that's what I mean. It's like we're still in an elevated volatility market, but the markets aren't as fearful, you could say, because they've shifted downwards. But again, at the end of the day, all that matters is whether or not it stays down and so on and so forth. So we did start to see some fear being removed from the market overnight and kind of towards the end of day Friday. But yeah, we'll see if that remains. And like I said too, if this market ends up being a piece of crap and like fails its long move, then arguably it's going to go back down, like I said, to the price. Well, let's bring up the SPY. Everyone knows that a little bit better. So if the market ends up failing this long move and like reverts back down, then it's just going to target back to usually the 50 SMA. So that would be back down to 66117. So yep. So hopefully it just keeps going up. Right now, the S&P issues are going down, the advancing declining issues in the market are going down, and the volume of the market is going down. And currently, the Magnificent Seven are going down. So right into that 1618 target as well, mind you. So we don't have really anything moving too bullish in the exact moment. Doesn't mean that it won't change, but this exact moment would not be, healthy to be buying the top of that market, right? As we came into the 161, there's not enough stuff moving along to keep the pressure going up. So hopefully the Magnificent Seven get bought up here in their dip, and then we go back up. So if you guys are watching your Magnificent Seven ticker combination, then you'll know that those are pulling back, and basically we're going to need those to hold a green candle and hold their dip to keep the markets going upwards for the moment. Man, only three people commented in chat this morning. Must be just. Oh, he wants to slither me. Oh, but he's not gonna. It's not gonna happen. Why is this thing? Oh, I see why. I see why. Apple's putting in a decently strong day. Good morning, Mike. We're just watching the market, obviously, and playing some Slither IO because I really don't know what else to do with myself these days. Um, you know. Do, 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 do. Again, we're just hopeful that the S&P issues will start getting bought up and or the Nasdaq issues start to get bought up, and if so, then we can see the markets continue to go up. If not, worst case scenario, market's going to fail its long, revert back down to the 50 SMA. 50 SMA is the yellow line on my screen, yellow line on the screen, 66129. That's going to be the inevitable back testing target with a failed long market move today. So, yep. Oh, come on, GELS, pick back up for a brother. I still got my runners on GELS. It's starting to move in the right direction. Again, I'm not super optimistic nor hopeful that that's going to do anything super crazy. But in the event it does, then sweet. But again, you guys all know why we went long that stock today. It's because it entered an uptrend. It's the same thing every single day regardless of the news. You guys know how that goes. If stock goeth in uptrend, we look for longeth. If stock market go into uptrend like it did this morning pre-market, we look longeth. So, assuming that the market does hold above 66129, as we've already discussed, we will see today stock market news start to transition a little bit more bullish, a little bit more optimistic, and they'll probably sell you on some stupid reason why. But the only reason why is because the market is flipping algorithmic levels and market makers are now hedging to the upside and rebalancing books upwards. So if that is in fact successful, we will see market go upeth. If market go upeth, stock market news will be positive, and they're going to sell you some reason why. Dude, soon we'll be playing like freaking, I don't even know, like soon I just might start gaming while I'm streaming, you know? I can't say there's too many of those out there. Gaming streams, stock market research, trading streams all in one, and crypto and Bitcoin. That would be crazy. Slither IO Master, let's go. Again, just have some small runners on GELS. Don't really care what it does. Got a little position swing long stock market. I hope that goes up. If it doesn't, that's okay. Why? Because the market's going to repeat the same exact thing over and over and over till the day I die and the day you die. So if it doesn't work today, it's just going to work tomorrow or Wednesday or next week or the following week, etc. And as long as you're here watching and prepared, you can dabble. All right, market not doing so good in this long move. As we said, all the S&P issues are going down. The Nasdaq, um, or sorry, New York Stock Exchange issues are going down. The only thing helping the market are the Magnificent Seven. Those have been starting, damn it, just died. Those have been starting to struggle. So obviously, if the Magnificent Seven stocks don't perform, the market will roll over and then we're going to go down and most likely get the price of $661.29. I hope that doesn't happen, but just is what it is if it do. So I will bring up these guys. Are you ready? So this is what it is right here. This is it. This is what's saving the market today. The Magnificent Seven. Look at the S&P haven't done anything for us. The New York Stock Exchange ain't been doing anything for us. And the volume on the stock market ain't doing anything for us. So we have weak volume advancing the market. New York Stock Exchange issues weak. S&P issues weak. The only thing that's doing anything are the Magnificent Seven stocks. So basically, we don't have a really strong market for the moment. So that ties in perfectly to when I said, hey guys, the market flipped long today, but we're not like super duper bullish because we've had a couple back-to-back false crosses. The market's kind of sketch. So then the market opens and you go, oh yeah, there's literally nothing moving the market too long by us today. So far, this long move is a little sketch, right? And that's to be expected. Why is that to be expected? Because that's the system, right? What do we see? We have a market that has two back-to-back false crosses in a short period of time, which means market went up with false long, back down, sold off, now back up. So other people would call that chop, right? Which to a degree it is chop, but there's a way that we can recognize a chop market before the chop, right? I mean, because if you think about it, the market only started getting choppy maybe this past couple past couple days, right? Because before it was a breakdown, sell off, good bounce, nice rollover, and then we kind of did like a bounce up, then down, now up, etc. So you're starting to see that back and forth kind of wavy market, right? So now that we have, and now we have three, do we have three crosses? Not yet. So just in general, remember this. When the 10 goes over the 50, it doesn't matter. When the 10 SMA crosses above or below the 50 SMA, like you see here, false crossing, short period of time, that instantly tells us going forward, expect a challenging, non-trending market most likely, right? Or it's gonna be very tricky as it tries to establish its trend. So that is something that we pay attention to so that we have the right mindset going forward in the markets at times, right? So when I see that, I go, oh, we're not necessarily in a just an easy trending market. It's probably going to be a schemy, trappy, challenging environment going forward until the market figures itself out. When does that happen? I don't know. But what I do know is that we have two back-to-back false crosses. That's generally a leading indicator of some schemy market tactics coming, right? And this is where we see a lot of people get long and then the market rolls over and dumps them out. And then they get short and then it gets picked back up and they get squeezed out. And we just don't create trending moves as easily. So having that mindset can be a big help because it will prevent you from just slamming your big trades up and thinking they're going to go for forever, right? Like the So, anyways, I'd say we've done a pretty good job here today so far. We've taken the market up to the 161 target, which is exactly where we said that the market would probably go if we had a successful gap up and at least some degree of go. So that's happened. All right, we've hit the long target. Even mentioned to take some profit into the long target. Market instantly topped out. And now it's just again, it's going to come down to this, really, pretty much right here. So this is it. Like, let me just pop this back on right here. So that's it, right? It's this Magnificent Seven. You see how these are just like up now trading sideways? If this turns into kind of like a bear flag and rolls down, then your market's gonna get pooped down right here. What is this gummy thing? Hmm, who knows? Who knows? Hmm. All right, so this is probably where the market's gonna sell back off to the 50 SMAs we were talking about. So get ready. It'll probably just drop right out. Well, I don't say drop right out, but yeah, it's pretty much coming back down to that yellow line like we talked about. Looks like VVIX, or wait, no, not quite. VIX is, let me see. So the VIX is going green, but VVIX isn't. That tells me that the institutions and smarter traders are not necessarily sold on this breaking down the 50 SMA. So this back test we're seeing, I would say that the smarter investors in the market don't think this is going to break down right away. So it could just be kind of like a false, when I say false move, just a move down to get supported again. I would say there's not enough confluence between the VIX and the VVIX that would suggest this market's going to pull back and break down just yet, but we'll see. There's a pullback. So even like that, we shied the 50 SMA by, I don't know, what is that, like 20 cents, and then bought right back up. Again, that's kind of something I could see with the VVIX there. It's that pullback wasn't like true aggressive selling, to be honest. At least not yet. It could change, but for the moment, it's not really the case. Yep. So, not a whole lot to say there, I guess. Same old, same old. So, happy Monday to you guys. Hopefully you're all having a great day. Yeah, sorry guys. Again, don't have a lot to say. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. If the market stays over the 50 SMA, market's going to pretty much stay up. So like I said, we broke over the 50 SMA here. We had no back test. That would arguably be a back test, even though it didn't truly hit it, right? And now if this is a dip and the market wants to continue long, great. Um, or it's basically if the market goes below, we can maybe look down, right? So that's how the market's positioned right now is essentially that. That's how we read the market like that. Obviously, it's not so, straightforward in that regard, but yeah, it's pretty much how the market is. So those that are shorting right now, the stock market, run the risk of getting blown out because the market's not actually negative. Granted, those that are going long the stock market risk that it's a false long move, right? But if you're going long in these dips, then your risk would just be back to the 50 SMA, right? If you're going short, then your risk would be, well, if it goes into a buy signal, it could go to a swing long for a week and a half, right? So just one of those things. It's just one of those things. Again, right now the VVIX is negative, the volatility index is negative, and the market is positive. So we again are still more like long in that sense when you look at the actual volatility markets. Granted, we also need the this to start. Oh, well, we need this to, yeah, we need the New York Stock Exchange issues to start going up, some of the volume to go up, Magnificent Seven to go up, and the S&P issues to go up, and the market will go up. And we're starting to see a little bit of that. It would be nice to see more of that, but like I said, market's kind of in that sketchy patterning going on, but hopefully we pick this market up, blows up into a huge long, and then the market news all flips positive and we all giggle about it later. That's really like that's the main objective of today is to see the market go up and news flip positive. Does it happen? I don't know. It seems a little shisty so far. Come on, baby, hit it with the pump. Hit it with the pump. Let me see it pump. Let me see you pump. All we want is pumps. All we want is pumps. Pump me up. Pump me up. If we can take out to the high set in for the day, that would be pretty cool. I could definitely squeeze some people up because obviously high a day. If people got in short there and we were able to get above that, might give a little squeeze along Magooster. That would be fun. That would be fun. Come on, market. Do something cooler. Be more exciting. Get through the high of day. Hit him with a mega pumper Magoo. Hmm. Seems that. Hmm. Okay. Oh, that's well. Maybe I should go to spy. Come on, spy. You can do it. Go high. Break out. Go up. Do something cool. I don't know. I don't trade Forex. But I don't, again, I have no idea. You probably could get close, but I'm not sure, to be honest. Don't know. Come on, market. You can do it, buddy. You can go up, man. You can do it. Let's take a look. Let's see if the news has started cycling positive. Could be a good indication that the people that control the stock market are in, right? If we're seeing the new, it's not always a guarantee, so just take that with a little bit of a grain of salt when I say something like that. But let's see, stock market news today. All right, news. Let's see. So right now, 31 minutes ago, stock market today, Nasdaq leads, Dow, S&P higher, sparking hopes of rebound from November losses. How crazy is that? That today the stock market flips the SMA positive and we start seeing stuff like that. Sparking hopes, rebound from November losses. How perfectly timed is that? S&P 500 rises as AI. Oh my gosh, remember this morning when I was like, who knows if the market goes up, they might tell you that the AI trade is back on, right? And look at here we go, CNBC, S&P 500 rises as the AI trade attempts a comeback led by Alphabet. I didn't that was over an hour ago. We told like lucky guess, but not really because it's obvious, right? Like, what have they been talking about? Oh, the AI trade is ruining us, right? It's like, well, if the market goes up, the first thing they're probably going to say is, oh, the AI trade is back on. Dude, so much fun. But also, like, honestly, you know what I need? I need to reach out. These predictive betting markets, they got to start putting, like, can you predict the news? You know what I mean? Because that would be sick, right? What's the news going to say today? Oh, the AI trade fears are back fine, right? So like Polymarket and Kalshi, if they start introducing, news betting markets, like what's the news going to be positive or negative or positive or negative today, right? It's like, well, if the market's going over the SMA, it's probably going to be positive, right? So you could place bets like that. You could also, if they get more descriptive, like is today's news going to be about AI or jobs or who knows, right? But maybe that's too obvious. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't do that. But anyways, you get the point. Stonks only go up. Hey, come on, get through the high a day and do something crazy. Oh my goodness, the market is going up. Who would have thought? SPY arguably going to go up two to the price of 66652. $666.52 goldfish. Wait, what did I just say? Oh, I was looking at a wrong chart. I'm like, that don't make sense. But yeah, 66652. Again, it's only like 20 cents up, 10 cents up. It's not a big deal. It doesn't even have to get there. I'm just looking at some daily Fibonacci stuff that, like obviously if we go up, we get, but I don't even care. It doesn't even matter. All that matters is that the market flipped the 50 SMA. We're more likely to go up. You buy long. That's it. All right, team. How's everybody doing this morning? You guys doing good? Yeah, sounds like it. I might have to donate you guys speech classes or like typing classes for Christmas this year. Get you guys a tutor. I have a couple friends online that struggle with typing and talking. You mind if you help them? I love it. Crypto slate. Why did Wall Street just dump 5.4 billion in strategies MSTR stock? Maybe because it's going into a bear market. Duh, duh. Hmm. Well, the Nasdaq issue, or sorry, the New York Stock Exchange issues are going up. The S&P issues have been kind of going up, and the Magnificent Seven issues have been kind of going up. So that's all good and dandy. But at the same time, um, they need to keep doing that. And also, you need the Magnificent Seven to kind of continue doing pretty decent. But anyways, oh my Lord, Thinkorswim, just work. It's not that challenging. I have lightning fast internet. My computer's always like, oh, I don't want to work. Gotta hit all those winning. Lame, lame. What a beautiful day it is. November 24th. Happy Monday to everyone. What's going on with our shitcoin? God, Bitcoin, come on. Aren't you supposed to go up already? Come on, old guy. Speaking of, what's MSTR doing? Hmm, kind of getting dippied. I just want to catch a decent bounce on the stock. I mean, I've had a couple like starters, but they just haven't been it. But then again, it's like, obviously trying to buy a dip in a bear market, silly boy. But it's like I just see the need for those daily volume weighted average prices on Bitcoin to get, obviously hit. So it's the when that happens, MSTR is probably gonna have a decent bounce. So, but either way, actually, yeah, too bad. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna take a little MSTR today. I don't care. I'm gonna buy some. All right. So I guess that'll be number three. Three. Three, bought MSTR. Hopeful one day it bounces. And again, we're basically buying that. I'm buying that stock in a mega downtrend. I'm just optimistic that again, when Bitcoin goes for its daily volume weighted average price back test, then MSTR will go up enough that I can make a little money on it. I've been trying the same trade for like a week and a half now, basically. It's like every time I think it might have a chance, I buy a little bit. And if it goes up, great. And if it doesn't, then I just reevaluate later. It's not by any means a great trade idea, but it's not terrible. So we'll see. Let me see. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, coin. Oh, the market just being a little struggle bus today. But again, to be expected. Well, 5 days ago. From 5 days ago would be. Hmm. Whoa, stock market going up. Sick. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, so like I said, I wish there was more to say. There's not. We flipped the stock market long today at 7:30 in the morning. Essentially, you're supposed to be long biased since then. If anybody's telling you differently, then they're just not far along or not far enough into the journey of the market. And they just do not know. And that is okay. That is okay. Again, guys, we are swinging along the stock market. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, again, doesn't really matter. Hopefully you guys are going to have a great Thanksgiving. Do you guys have anything planned besides eating with your families? You guys going anywhere cool? I am, what am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. I think I'm seeing my parents and then my mother-in-law, other mother-in-law. Might be running around. Usually, sometimes on Thanksgiving we go three different places. Me and my wife. It's kind of crazy. Oh, Bitcoin, can you do something fun already? I mean, I guess we've watched it go for 3.5 years already, so it's like obviously if it goes down, whatever. But it's actually kind of the one of the more aggressive sell-offs from the top than we've seen in pretty much any of these bear market tops, realistically. I mean, granted, they've all gone down. But I mean, if you look at this one, right, this was back in like 2018 or something, 20 whatever. But I mean, let's see, what did this do? Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. I mean, that did just straight go down 43% from the high and then proceeded to go down to a low and then it was down 70%. That's wicked. Oh shit, it went down even more. It went down to here. So that went down a total of 84%. Straight clapped. See, but I don't have it down that much this time around. I only got it to, let's see. Well, shit. I mean, 50, it is 70%. Radio about 50 grand is 70%. Oh, sorry, wait, I'm stupid. 60%, or wait, I'm stupid again. No, yeah, 60% from the high. So again, really anyone buying up into the highs is arguably about to lose 60% of their portfolio over the next year or so. That's good. That's a tough one to swallow. Oh, that's a tough one to swallow. That's why I felt bad. I was reading some news a couple weeks back. I forget. There's so many companies that have bought cryptocurrencies and stuff. It's hard to keep track of them. But you know, the ones are like, oh, strategic reserve, Ethereum, and this and that. So there was a couple companies that came out over, I don't know, some weeks and months ago when the market was like up here. Right? They're like, "Oh, we just bought 500 million." I'm like, "Damn, that sucks for you. You're about to get smoked, right?" So their 500 million is now down to basically, what's that 30%? So what, they're like 300 million now or 340 million. And if it does in fact go down to the price target we talked about, their 500 million is going to go to what, 60%. So 50% would be 250. So if you use 60, they're going to be what, down to like somewhere around 200 million. They're gonna wipe out 60% of their 500 million this year. Just like that. They should probably bring me on as a consultant. I'll only charge 100 million and save them two and a half. Ba-da-ba. I'm loving it. What's my background in the markets? Retail trader, retail investor, real estate investor, and have passed one CMT. academic exam to get certified as a stock market technical analyst, but essentially never fully went through with it. Um, I did my second exam, ended up getting like a 60 something percent. The pass rate was, you had to be like at 70, maybe it was 75, probably 75. I think it'd get better than 75. The second exam, I arguably kind of rushed thinking that I was smart enough to get through it. So I scheduled the exam for, let's just say like a couple months out, where I probably should have done like 5 or 6 months, and try to jam the studying in, and got close, but the second exam was significantly harder than the first. So I ended up failing. And then I get the emails all the time, and I'm like, I should sit down and really go back and finish that because I feel bad not finishing. It's something I really enjoy. So I think I'm gonna pull the trigger and get back to studying and pass the 3 exams to get my certificate as a financial market technical analyst. Basically, someone who's just done enough research and done enough study to pass a test that says this guy knows a little bit about the market, basically, if you will. So it is a global designation certificate that you can get for stock market analysis. And so I passed the first exam and got to do more. And but anyway, so there's some things that I've learned from it. I can't, I mean, the funny thing is the strategy that I use isn't even taught in it. Actually, all the stuff that I use isn't even taught in the CMT designations. There's some stuff, but most of what I use really isn't even taught in there. So kind of funny in that sense. So it just tells me that even the information in there, it's, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. It's like, if I became a CMT, then the first thing I would want to do at some point is help them rewrite their academic books to include all the stuff that I use, right? But anyways, there's the take. I've been watching the markets for and trading them and investing them for 10 some years and try to go forward with getting at least a designation in stock market financial technical analysis, which I'm sure I'll probably get at some point. But yeah, and real estate investor, pretty much just self-taught and everything. Was never really good at following um, like direction and schools and teachers, just like wasn't my gig. To me, it was just basically anything you're telling me I can figure out myself. Like that was kind of it, kind of kind of a stubborn, hard-headed individual growing up. That's kind of faded a bit, but still got a hard head at times. So yeah, that's that. Talk about talk about, I mean, just a boring day. I mean, it's not really boring, but it's not like really a ton, not a ton. Damn it. See, that one I wasn't, it was an oversold one. I wasn't gonna, or wait, did I miss something? I might have. Hmm. Wait, how did I miss that? Now I'm kind of confused. Should have been buying the stock INHD today, but I don't know why I missed that one. Huh. I don't really know. Maybe I was just moving too fast through my stuff this morning, but yeah, that was a pretty decent miss. That stock's up pretty big today. But yeah, could have easily been in on that one, but wasn't using my brain effectively enough today. Oh boy. Our MSTR since entry's just gone down, not doing anything good, but whatever. Just is what it is. Granted, I mean, this thing has been struggling to get back into an uptrend. One day, maybe it does. But like I said, I'm just kind of banking on the eventual counter trend bounce for the Bitcoin market, which should help MSTR go up a little bit. So I'm not really buying MSTR, I'm just buying Bitcoin in a way, under the assumption we're going to do a counter bounce trade sooner rather than later. But either way, not working in the immediate. Again, volatility index is downsided. VVIX is downsided. Volatility is leaving the markets. When volatility leaves the markets, we're more long bias. We're not as short bias. Obviously, the market slipped positive. So again, today's a day where the stock market has slipped back to positive, and the volatility of volatility is negative, and volatility is negative. Right? So when you wake up and you look at the market today, you go, oh, the market's back to positive, and all the things that trigger fear in the market and selling in the market are going away, right? Like when you were younger and you were getting bullied, and the kid was stealing your lunch money, and he was flipping you upside down and shaking out your pockets, and the only thing you wanted was just you wanted the bully to go away, and life would become so much better, right? Even if that meant just, basically giving your money to him to make him go away quicker. But he eventually did, and life became so much better. That's the same thing with the VIX. The VIX is just a bully, and VVIX is just another bully. They're two little bullies that come into the market every once in a while, and they spark fear, right? And all these kids get scared. The bully's here, starts to steal all their money, take the market down. But then one day, the bully gets his ass kicked, or the bully ends up leaving. And then what happens? Life's good again. And guess what happens? The market goes up again. And that's where we're at right now. We're at the point where the market has slipped back to positive and the bullies are retreating from the market. And as long as they continue to retreat from the market, then people like me and smarter other investors are going to go, yay, good chance market goes up, right? Granted, it's still a sketchy market. So just an FYI, like those are the basics, right? Those are always the basics. Any recommendations for a beginner? Number one, don't trade. Don't day trade. All right. Unless you've already been doing it and you're not going to stop doing it, then sure. Otherwise, just long-term invest. That's pretty much it. And then when you long-term invest, you can dollar cost average and then use standard deviation statistics so that when the market actually crashes, you have a good idea as when you should load the boat. So you're using trading tactics in long-term investing. So that's what I would recommend for most beginners. Buy VTI, buy VU, buy SPY, buy low-cost index funds. Use a standard deviation statistics channel. That way you'll know when the market is oversold without having to guess, right? You'll have a statistical edge on oversold markets. That's when you buy more. So not only do you do a simple dollar cost averaging strategy, which every single financial advisor on the planet would suggest, but now you also get to implement statistical trading tactics into your long-term investing strategy, which is standard deviation statistics. That might sound confusing, but it would take me 2 seconds to get you set up with that. When the market hits -1, -2, -3, -4, in theory, those are all buy points. Anytime the market is trading +1, +2, +3, +4, which you probably don't know what that means, those would not be sell points. They just would not be buy points because obviously you'd be a long-term investor at that point. So the best thing you can do as a beginner is probably not trade, do long-term investing, deploy some trading tactics to your long-term investing strategy to hopefully beat the markets a little more, just have a better gain, right? Because if you just dollar cost average, you buy every high, you buy every low, you buy every high, you buy every low, right? Well, what about if you buy every high, buy every low, but then when it goes low, low, then you buy a little, like you buy more than what you would typically buy, help lower that dollar cost average amount even more. That's what I would suggest as a beginner. And then I would suggest do not listen to 99% of all the YouTube videos on the internet, especially around day trading. Don't listen to them. Not that some of the stuff isn't valuable, but it's probably not going to do you any good anyways. Um, you'll still probably end up losing your money at some point, or going through a lot of trial and tribulation to maybe get to the point where you make enough money that you could live off of. Um, and that 99% of all the YouTubers on the internet are not profitable. I've gone through profitability myself and unprofitability. So I'm a perfect example of why I'm telling you all this. I used to live in this kind of fairy tale world that like I can make it, I can do this. And I did actually do it for like a decent amount of time. And then the wheels kind of fell off for me a bit. Um, right? So that's speaking from the heart, speaking from truth, right? If you will. So I think the best thing you can do for yourself is be a long-term investor and then slowly learn some of the actual legitimate trading kind of things. And then you can slowly introduce that to some of your long-term stuff. But at the same time, I do think it could be valuable to have like a small account that you use and specifically use it as it relates to the system that I'm talking about, the SMA system, right? On the SPX or on the SPY. And the reason I say that that's the only thing I could even recommend anyone try to like really like be involving themselves trading with as a beginner because you're not chasing around a penny stock. You're not trying to chase around really quick futures movements, if you will. What you're essentially doing is you're literally buying the stock market. So just as every advisor and everyone preaches about dollar cost averaging, buy SPY, buy VTI, buy VU, whatever, right? That's what you're doing, but you're also using a trading system on top of it, right? So basically, if you're going to go the route of trading, I would say use the 50 SMA system just as I show you on the screen. It's not currently on the screen. Use this SMA system because this SMA system is specific for the stock market. So you're not going to be chasing around different stocks. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be using a system that's specifically designed for, well, not necessarily, but a system that works very well with the S&P 500. When it's above, it's bullish, you go long. You going long is the same thing as you buying the stock market, dollar cost, like essentially, right? You're just buying the market, right? Except now you're avoiding the downturns and only trying to involve yourself on the upside, which won't always be perfect, right? So that's what I would suggest. Use the SMA system. I've taught it 16,000 times in every YouTube short video I have. So if you go to my channel and look in the YouTube shorts within, a few minutes, you should be able to figure out how to set that system up and start following it. The sooner you set that system up, the sooner you pay attention, the better you will instantly be better than 95% of everyone in the world as far as looking at the stock market and knowing what's going on. Honestly, you'll probably be better than 90% of the YouTubers on the internet. Literally, literally. See, like right now, if you go to someone's YouTube stream that's trading some futures or maybe doing whatever, I don't care, they can do whatever they want to do, right? Like a lot of times, what you will run into, and it even happens with me at times, right? There can be days where it's kind of confusing what the market's going to try to do, but ultimately, most YouTube streams are gonna be like, oh, markets can, oh, well, is the market gonna be up today? Or they're gonna like a lot of times a YouTube stream will see they'll release a poll, right? A poll will be released. Like, do you think the market will be bullish today, or do you think it will be bearish, right? And then you're gonna get the sentiment like, oh, so many people voted yes, and so, but did any one of those people making that vote ever look at the system? Is the system positive or is the system negative, right? If the system is positive, then the market's more likely to go up, just like we mentioned today in the pre-market. Hey guys, stock market flipped the SMA, so we're bullish, we're bias is long, right? You know what I mean? So you will find that most people, even including myself at times, really don't have a damn clue what's going on, right? They're just hoping that maybe they'll be corrected. But when you follow the SMA system, it alleviates a lot of that guessing for you because if the market goes over the SMA, it's just more likely to go up. When you watch that happen for 4 years like I have, then there's no other way to say it. You just laugh, right? Because like I do, you do now. Let me delete all this stuff off the chart. Is the market going up today? Yes. Is the market over the 50 SMA? Yes. Literally, that is it. One line, one time frame on one ticker. That's it. And I know everyone's going to be, it can't be that simple. No, yeah, it basically is that simple. You can make it more complicated if you want. I do at times. But at the bare bones of it, that's all it is. One time frame, one SMA, and one ticker symbol. You will be better at predicting the market than 95% of the planet. Yep. So, hopefully that makes sense. So that's what you should do as a beginner. If you have and honestly, brother, if you have questions, you can just straight up email me here. I'll walk you through everything for free. I won't charge you anything. Like, I'll get you set up. I'll send you a script. Basically, whatever you need to basically get kind of set up and comfortable on your own, I can help you do, and it's all free. It doesn't matter. Just let me know. I'm gonna send you my email right now. tsmn.io. So you can any one of you guys can email me there if you ever have any questions. It totally open, totally free communication, safe space for you if you want to talk about your depression, if you will. But literally just let me know, reach out. No harm, no foul. You remember this morning when we said, "Hey guys, look at this cute little bull flag they got going on. I don't know if they're going to use it to break up, but they might." So you see how we created that bull flag right at the 50 SMA? Again, that's common tactic. Like, you know, good stuff, guys. You guys are great. You guys helped me stay on the right side of the market today, and I just can't thank you enough. I came into this stream this morning. You guys were blowing up the chat room with endless messages saying, Connor, you should be long the market because the market's over the 50 SMA. And I was coming in today and I was really confused. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was kind of like, which way should I maybe try to bet on the market? And you guys assured me that it was most beneficial to my well-being to not be short biased, but to be long biased today. And I just got to thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate that. Hmm. Yep. Hmm. Interesting. Oh, actually, I didn't even think. I did think. I have been thinking, but there's something. Oh, yeah, so that makes sense. We hit that target. All right. Low, 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 low. Well, that would be it would actually be there. All right, so if you take out the 30, I mean, here's some other ideas, which are basically like if we end up basically screwing over the previous sell signal fib, then we're going to be taking the market up to like right about here. Like that's going to be a target for the market for inverse Fibonacci stuff. It's not a tactic I use all that much, but this would probably be more likely to happen in a scummy market. We'll see. Hmm. But then, well, wait a second. Yeah, I don't know yet because they're not. Yeah, it's a little too soon. Let's see. Man, look at the market go up. Who would have thought? Crazy. Now, what else are we looking for? We are looking at oh, that's right. The stock market news today. Let's see if anything else has changed. Obviously, we know it's going to be bullish now for sure. We should imagine. 10 minutes ago, here we go. S&P 500 rises as AI trade attempts comeback led by Alphabet. Wait, I thought we already read that one. Huh. Stock market today, something rebound. Stock market today, Nasdaq rise nearly 2%. Google rallies. Bitcoin holds something. Tech leads early gains. Google keeps running. Novo dives. Tech propels stocks higher. Stock market today, S&P 500 and Nasdaq open higher as shortened. What? Where did that go? Where did that headline? Oh, you want me to pay $1 for you guys to just basically be dumb? Like, absolutely not. Why would I pay $1 to Barron's when you could just watch a free YouTube channel that predicts their news before they even make it? That doesn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would I ever pay $1? That doesn't even make sense. You just watch someone's YouTube channel, Stock Market Network. You know? That doesn't make sense. Um, So pretty much what we've come to the conclusion of is all the stock market news is positive. Like obviously, duh, like what do you think was going to happen? Stock market goes into a positive trend, well, positive breakout. Things are going to go up. Me, you, smart people, traders, investment banks, hedge funds, those that are in the know are going to go along. We're going to drive it up, most likely, not always a guarantee. And if we're correct and we drive it up, then the news is going to obviously flip positive. Udder. Such a beautiful, beautiful thing. It is, ladies and gentlemen. I am still long UPRO. Obviously, I've taken some profit along the way up because that's just what I do. But I'm still holding 3x leverage ETF long on the upside. Every percent that the stock market goes up, I beat it by 3%, right? Or well, I guess theoretically 2, not 3. But yeah, if the market goes up a percent, I make 3. If it goes up 2, I make 6, etc. I'm not here to, be making I mean, I would love 1,000%er, but I'm just saying in general, when you're doing this system on the market, you're not looking for thousands of percent gains. What you're looking to do is over the year beat the stock market by using 3x. Shit, you could use options. You can do whatever you want to do. I don't care. One thing is for certain is that if you're using this system on the stock market, you're objectively only way to beat the market is by using a leveraged instrument. You can't beat the market by trading a system on the stock market, right? It's not possible because then your alpha is the exact same. It's a 1-to-1, right? Well, not that you can't beat, sorry, let me phrase that. Not that you can't beat the stock market by doing that. It would just be harder because you're not getting any additional alpha on top of the move, right? You're just getting a 1-to-1 return. Whatever the market returns, you get, right? Now, granted, you avoid all the downturns in the market. But at the same time, if you don't time a great entry and you don't get the exact tippy top of any of the long swing moves, and you're only trading a 1-to-1, returning asset, the SPY, if you will, on this, then you can only get what it gives, right? But if you trade a leveraged instrument, then you can get multiple percents on top of what it gives, etc. And that will be easier in a sense to beat the market at the end of the year if you're trading or being some degree profitable on your trades of a leveraged instrument as opposed to just the SPY. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Hopefully you have a good Thanksgiving if you're heading out. 10:46. I mean, what's left to do in this day? Well, actually, I mean, I got quite a bit to do, but oh boy, tired. I'm tired, but I'm happy. The market is going up. I need to finish my garage. I'm drywalling well, I need to put some insulation and then drywall my garage. It's kind of been a project that's arguably taken a little bit too long, but I also don't want to do it because it's damn chilly outside, you know? Man, like seriously, who would have thought the stock market would go up today? Like, cheers to that guy. Like, I'm so glad I read that CNBC article this morning. Like, thank gosh. You know? Hey, my MSTR came back. It's now green. Cool. It was red, but now it's starting to get a little green. I don't really think that's gonna matter a whole lot because, but yay. Alrighty. Ooh. Man. I mean, yeah, ultimately, if we could get, say, like the SPY over pretty much where I'm drawing on the screen, that's where it makes it more likely we could see that kind of move back up to prices like that. And I'm not trying to guarantee that by any means. I mean, markets always do whatever they want, but there are situations where we see kind of what I call an inverse fib move, and that would be up today. Again, to me, it's irrelevant whether or not, I mean, I would love for it to do that because then my swing long would be paying off even more. But, if the market wants to stop and then, go into a sell signal by 2 days from now, like, and do that, like, that's completely fine too, right? We'll be ready for it. But I'm just looking at all the strategies and things that I use. And, like, yeah, if the market wants to, could be a reason for it to go up here. That would be an inverse Fibonacci move that I look for. If it doesn't do that, again, it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Like it's like, well, and why doesn't it matter if it does or doesn't do that, right? Why does it really not matter? Because again, wait, why did this, was that was that SPX maybe? Yeah. So why does it not matter? Because again, we follow the SMA system. If the market is above, we look to go long. If it's below, we either are neutral or short. If it's above, we look to go long. Below, neutral, short. Above, long. So though I would love to see an inverse Fibonacci moved up here, all that matters is whether or not the price is above or below. So if in 2 days from now, instead of going up to there, it reverts all the way back down to there, that's fine because that's just what the system does and we just follow it, you know? So let's just hope we get up to like basically the 6,000, 6,900, and then we get over that and then we have a mega gap up tomorrow all the way to there and everyone's like, "Oh my God, the AI train." That's probably not going to happen, but in the event it does happen, I'd be sick. So, all right, 10:50, probably going to call it here. Again, there's not a whole lot more we can do other than just talk about what's already happened, which is the market's gone into a positive move today. Therefore, we're long biased. Therefore, the market's going up. Therefore, your news is all positive. Therefore, the news is telling you that the AI trade is back. And who knows what else, whatever sort of things that got coming down the pipeline. Oh, but yeah, so we're just pumping markets up today. That's pretty much it, and I'll see you tomorrow. So if the market does not, for whatever reason, well, yeah, I mean that's yeah, just as long as the market's over the SMA, just stay on the long-sided bias up. And that's it. You guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.